Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Penny's game Hoard. I'm Penny, and we are continuing with Guild Wars 2. So, remember from last time, we started out in Metrica Province. I did the little tutorial, and we started doing our leveling up and showing off all the things that you do to gain experience, like doing Renown Heart quests and finding points of interest. I explained stuff like your targeting with the action camera mode, which is the mode that I like to use the most. But I'll also be showing off stuff like, hopefully, we'll be able to show off stuff like ground targeting and whatnot, which is a little bit more advanced, but not, super advanced if you're used to MMOs. And then, of course, we had a lot of fun with talking about the different ways that this game is just really good at being an MMO. All the stuff like stuff being account wide rather than just to one character, which makes it really alt character friendly. You kind of are encouraged to make alternate characters just for fun. All the ways that this game has really unique and awesome combat with dodge rolling and sort of a limited skill bar, but a lot of versatility depending on the way that you build your character. And we're also had some fun just exploring around and seeing what this game has to offer. And I said last time we'd be exploring a different area of the map. And so here we are. We are now in Queensdale. This is the starting area for humans. So if you play a human character, this is where you will show up. It is a lovely little village here, and it is now actually past the our daily reset time. So we have our little daily chest here. Login reward day 18. And a chest of black lion goods. So every day that you log in, it moves on a little bit. And then the final reward is 2% increase to account gold find, choice of ascended crafting materials, legendary crafting materials, laurels, or tomes of knowledge. So, and you don't have to log in consecutively, like it doesn't reset if you miss a day. As long as you just keep coming in, it's going to slowly progress. So here we go. Here's the daily events next 22 hours. Foraging ore, viewing Shiver Peaks vistas, doing events in Desert Highlands. And then there are adventures, which are like little mini games that you can do. And you can also do dailies in PvP or world versus world. As long as you complete 3 of any of these on any list, you'll get the daily completionist. So, buying goods, got a Merchant Express, which, as you can see, someone's a merchant that you can summon for basic supplies and loot. Not super helpful, in my opinion. There's always some merchant somewhere nearby, and if you're really that strapped for somebody to sell stuff to, then you probably should have thought of that ahead of time. But I'll just stick it on my bank once I get to a bank. In the space between recordings, I had some bag expansion slots that I used to increase how many bag slots I have. I filled them up with some various bags here. The craftsman bag, any crafting materials will go in here first. The oiled pack, any trophies or sort of quote unquote useless items will fill up in here first. And the invisible pack, anything I put in here, I always like to have an invisible pack right at the end. Anything you put in here won't show up on vendor lists, so you can't accidentally sell them, and they won't, if you put them in there, they won't be compacted or affected by depositing or compacting stuff. So if you just want to store a few things in there, like maybe you have some food or special materials that you want to keep in there just for later, you can stick them in there and it'll be nice and safe. So welcome to Queensdale, here in the village of Shaymore, a lovely little quaint village. Let's go talk to this scout. There's a guy sitting at a table.
The fields beyond Shaymore are Kryta's breadbasket. Since the Centaur attack, citizens are trying to rebuild their lives. But it's tough with bandits and dangerous wildlife roaming the area. Don't wait for an invitation. Jump in and help them.
Yep. So the lore of this world is there is a centaur war. Basically, the centaurs and the humans have been at war for a while, and there's also problems with bandits as well. So even this idyllic little village is having issues. Always something to do. Always somebody to help. Let's go see. Let's see. Help Dia tend her farm. So again, another thing that shows you the different ways that you can interact with stuff. You can tend to the corn to make it nice and healthy again, which isn't really how corn works. I feel like if it's been scorched, you can't really help that. But what the hell? I'm not a cornologist. So yeah, I don't even have to fight anything. I don't even have to kill people. I just have to tend to the crops, and that helps people out. I do like... sorry. I do like that so many of the quests in this game really are about just helping people. Even when you're, a super high level character, it's really just you're not like above anybody else. And in fact, very few of the quests are like, oh, this is below your station. Like I never feel like I'm being what's the word I'm looking for? I never feel like I'm... Oh, that's a bugged out worm. Hey there. I never feel like anything is like below my station. Like, oh, this is a waste of time for a hero like me. Like the game, through the text and the lore and the story and whatnot, really goes out of its way to tell you, like, you helping these people is so important. Like, it's not just enough to say that you're a hero. You have to go out of your way to help people. And so starting off, like, you're tending to crops and helping people out, and even later on when there's big giant battles happening, some of the quests that you do are like running medical supplies to people or bringing food and water to workers as they rebuild defenses. You're not above that. You are part of a team, and so you're encouraged to go around and help people. And I think that's a really nice sentiment, a really nice message to have, that you're one of them, even if they do say, oh, you're such a big hero. Like you are, you could be them. You're sort of an everyman sort of situation. You came from humble beginnings, and even later on in the game, in the story, your character says a lot, like, I'm just me. Like, I've been thrust into this situation, and I'm not some sort of chosen one, right? I mean, you kind of do become a chosen one, but that's just because, again, you were thrust into the situation of having to be one. Of you stepping up because there was nobody else to do it. It wasn't because you were born to be... You weren't born the hero. You made the difficult decision to become a hero. That's an important distinction. Good and evil is not inherent. It's a choice. It's a choice that you have to make every day. And you have to really look yourself in the mirror sometimes and realize, like, it's rough. Sometimes it's really difficult to keep going and keep being a good person when you know that you can't save everybody, you can't help everybody, and sometimes you might accidentally do more harm than good. But again, this game really teaches you, it's the fact that you went out and you tried. It's the fact that deep down you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. So sure, you start small, helping out farmers with their crops and making sure that they can keep this dam built so it doesn't blow up and flood the entire region. But somebody's got to do it. And even little things like being a hero, somebody's got to do it. Even if you are a little hero It's approximately 3 feet tall like me. Got another vista here. Let's see what we got. The Divinity's Reach Dam. Yeah. Divinity's Reach is a very popular location for role players. It's a nice big city. It's got a lot of places to hang out at. I really love the mega structure aesthetic of Divinity's Reach and the surrounding areas. Like, it just feels big. Because it's one of the last places of humanity, essentially. They've been driven back and killed for... So they're actually basically like a dying race. They are not the... You know, like how in many settings they'll have humans be like, oh, they're a far-reaching race that lives everywhere, and they kind of do here. There are humans everywhere, but like, you know, their gods are dying. They've been driven back by various wars and stuff. Divinity's Reach here. This is the city here. It's kind of like their last stronghold anywhere. There's places like there's Lion's Arch, which is another city, but that's kind of like a mixed cosmopolitan sort of city. So at least here in the continent of Tyria, which is this northern part up here, humans are becoming more and more rare. This here is the Crystal Desert. This area here, where there are humans here, of course, but they're also kind of dealing with their own troubles and on the brink of extinction there as well. And all the way down here, we've got Cantha, which, again, humans here too, but everywhere you go, there's always something happening. Underwater combat a lot. Cool. So we can go to... Oh, that's another thing. Because of the influx of new players, they're making it so that you unlock the Raptor mount for basic usage at level 10. I'm not quite sure of the exact mechanics of how it works if you're a new player, but essentially they want to make it so that you can still get around kind of quickly even if you're a newbie. It obviously won't have the same level of skills and flexibility as if you're a high-level player. But still, it's nice that they're thinking about all these new players are probably going to complain about not be able to get around as fast. So, yeah, now I'm underwater. I got my rebreather, got my spear, got various underwater abilities you can use. There's not a ton of underwater content in this game, so some people joke that, you know, it's a bit of a sinking ship, if you will. But it's still nice that they put a little bit of thought into it. I saved the apple orchard from nasty little spiders. You can see I unlocked a new ability too, shield stance for 3 seconds. I can block pretty much every attack, unless the attack specifically states that it's unblockable. And there are some unblockable attacks, or you can get some abilities that make your attacks like pierce through blocks. So really the only true invincibility in this game is dodging. And that's a very short time frame, like a few frames of invincibility. So blocking will only get you so far. Of course, there are some people who say blocking, dodging. Just hit it until it dies. Oh, there you go. Already got an event going on. Kill orchard spiders. If you get like a little notification here, like this little heart, if you right click it, it automatically closes it, gives you the money and whatever rewards from it without actually opening up the big thing in the middle of the screen that says, hey, thank you for doing such and such.
Didn't see you there. Most people don't realize
ooh, a spoon.
If you don't have both, no fruit.
Yeah,
Until we
I don't
converse
think about
again.
that too much.
Hey, look, a bunny. Hi. I like bunnies. Yeah, as you can see, all the crafting materials have gone into my craftsman's bag, so I can just click deposit all, and they all go into my bank, which is very nice. They've been adding a lot of quality of life stuff over the years, which I appreciate. That person, yep, there you go. That person right there is a mechanist, and no, not from Thief 2. It is a elite specialization for the engineer class that lets you have a big old robot that follows you around. Every class has elite specializations. So, and there's one specialization for each expansion. So there are 3 expansions right now. There are 3 elite specializations per class. And they basically fundamentally change the way that your profession works in some way. So, of course, I can't show it yet because I don't have hero point skills unlocked yet. I'm not level 11 yet, but as a warrior, I'll be able to unlock the Berserker, the Spellbreaker, and the Bladesworn elite specializations, which change how the adrenaline works for my class. So all of them in some way affect your profession mechanic and kind of change the way that they play. You can have a elite specialization that makes your class more of a supportive role, like like for example the Thief class. They recently in End of Dragons, the newest expansion, they got the Spectre specialization, which makes them more of a support role rather than a single damage dealer like they have been. Or you have, I'm a warrior right now, I can unlock the Berserker, which really increases their ability to do like condition damage and damage over time, and basically turns their burst mode, instead of a single burst attack, it turns it into a berserk mode that lasts for several seconds. So you do your burst, your big damage boost over a longer period of time. But instead of having your 3, I only have 1 bar right now because I haven't leveled up enough, but instead of having 3 bars, you just have 1 bar, and once it fills up, you can turn on berserk mode. So yeah, each of them affect your class in some way or another. And it really is nice to have a way of making these unique and varied classes feel even more unique and varied. You're already able to change the way your class functions based on the weapons you equip and the skills that you equip. And then being able to further customize through elite specializations is just really neat. And again, you can swap between them at will outside of combat. So you might be like, hey, I'm going to bring a Berserker along for this fight, but I'm going to bring a Spellbreaker for this one, or a Bladesworn for this one. And each of them could be a different sort of role, a different way of being like, this can be more support, this can be more damage based. This one, it could be damage like burst damage of high critical damage, or it could be condition damage. I'm going to focus on dealing damage over time. There's so many different ways. It's really nice. I really like the customizability of this. Aha! Now we have Gathering. They gave us your first basic gathering tools. I already put in some gathering tools. I unlocked some unbreakable tools. You can see the number there is how many uses it has left. So you do need to buy new gathering tools over time. I don't need them because I have unbreakable versions that I equipped on my character. So I don't need to worry about buying new tools. They are unbreakable and they are max level. So they can basically chop down anything, mine anything, forage anything. So no matter where I go with these tools, I will be able to forage and gather. They are items from the in-game cash shop. Same with me getting those bag slots and oops, sorry. These extra bag slots here, I increased how many slots I have. I also increased my equipment template slots, so you can swap between armor sets. And then build slots, I increased my number there. All those are from the cash shop. I do like how this game handles it better than some games I've played. This game is not pay to win. There will be some jerks that you'll find in some places that will be like, well, this game is pay to win. It's not. It's really not. There's no payment you ever have to make to make the game, quote unquote, more playable. You open up the trading company, the gem store. It's so much of it is just style stuff, like, you know, various skins and like, oh, I can get a new mount skin, I can get a new outfit or whatever. That's just purely cosmetic. Like, that's not pay to win. Utility, a lot of the only utility item, I did get myself an infinite fishing lure, so I don't need like gathering tools. They wear down over time. I just got an infinite one, so that doesn't wear down over time. And the harvesting tools that you can buy that have infinite uses. But again, that's not pay to win. You're not winning the game, because gathering tools are pretty cheap to acquire. Like if you buy them from a merchant, and it's hardly ever a hassle to go get some more if you run out. It may be some minor annoyance of, oh man, I'm gathering this metal, mining this ore here, and I ran out of pickaxe uses. You know, boo-hoo. So what? Like, that's not losing the game. There's nothing in this game that is an instant win. There's nothing in this game that makes you better than any other player. Most of these things here in like utilities and upgrades and whatnot are just somewhat improving the quality of life if it's something that you're really in need of. Like, oh, I want infinite gathering tools because I'm worried about my stuff running out. Cool, there you go. I want more, bank tabs. Cool, there you go. Like, it's purely just optional stuff. And again, so much of it is account wide. If I unlock a bank tab expansion, it unlocks it for all my characters because your bank is account wide. If I unlock like a gathering node for my home instance, which I'll show later, or I get this garden plot deed for my home, it's for all of my characters. Some of them are a character specific. So if you see there, it says add an extra build template to the character. So some of them are character specific. The gathering tools obviously can only be equipped on one character, but they are account bound, not soul bound. So some people will have these shared inventory slots here. They'll keep 3 of them empty, and then when they're done on a character, put those tools into those empty slots for later for the next character. So they only need to technically buy one set of unbreakable tools, and then whenever they swap characters, equip those tools on that character. And bada bing, bada boom. You don't need to buy multiple sets. It's not specific to a single character. So, again, I appreciate how much stuff is available to all of your characters when you purchase them, or at least can be easily swapped between them, and how much stuff just really isn't necessary to enjoy the game, to really, feel full fulfillment. I've never felt like I was forced to buy something because the game would be less fun. In fact, when I first started playing, not the first time I started playing, back when I had my old account that I've since lost, But when I started playing on this account here, just before Path of Fire came out, I was on a free-to-play account, and it does take a little bit for your account to swap over to the full version. So if you buy the full expansion, it takes a few days for it to like authorize, and then you'll unlock everything. I completed the entire base vanilla game, level 1 to level 80, and got 100% map completion in 2 weeks of playing. Now, do I suggest you do that? No, because that was a lot of sleepless nights and obsessive gaming. And it definitely was I would not recommend it. I would recommend you take your time and not grind out essentially the entire game in 2 weeks. Possible? Yes. Recommended? No. But I did complete essentially the entire content of the game on a free-to-play account, and never once did I feel like I was being held back in some way. This was before mounts were added, because mounts were added in Path of Fire, so I completed the entire game without mounts. I completed it with a limited trading post, because free-to-play, your trading post is limited to certain item types. In fact, for a long period of time, most of the equipment I had, even while playing the high-level story stuff, was just quest reward stuff. I never felt like I had to go out of my way to buy max level or optimal gear. As long as I was just wearing up-to-date gear, just like current gear. As long, like if you're level 80 and you're wearing like, level 50 gear or something because you forgot to upgrade it, like, yeah, it's going to affect you. But as long as you're just like keeping up with the leveling, if you're equipping armor as you level up, you'll be fine. You're going to be fine. There's no stress. The PvE game mode is very lenient and very forgiving, unless you're doing dungeons or raids or fractals or any of that like high level end game stuff.
How many centaurs do you
Just don't fret. You'll be okay. It's not a loot grind. It's not an item grind. That's another thing actually that reminds me. With every expansion, they do not increase the level of like item gear. So in many MMOs, when a new expansion comes out, they increase like the maximum player level. They increase, the power level of various loot items or equipment and gear items. So it's like, oh, well, this new expansion came out. Max level has been increased by, max level used to be 100. Now it's 110. And that means that also equipment level has gone from 100 to 110, which means that your max level character now has to grind out a whole new set of gear in order to stay relevant. They didn't do that. They explicitly went out of their way to say, you will never have to grind out new gear. The expansions add new gear types, like new stat selections. Where do I give the... Did I pick up the trinkets? Oh, does it just automatically collect it? I thought I had to give it to somebody. Sorry. It'll add like, a new, for example, you see or something. So mighty War Chain leggings. The mighty prefix means it adds power. The precise prefix means it adds more precision, And once you get max level, there are different prefixes that add different combinations of stats. That's all they do. They just add new stat combinations for very specific builds, but they never make any previous gear irrelevant. So you never have to grind out a whole new set of gear anytime a new set of content comes out, which I so appreciate. And again, teamwork, like us two killing that centaur and us two reviving that Seraph soldier, we both are going to get XP and we're both going to get experience towards the Heart Renown quest here. So it's entirely cooperative. You're never getting in the way of somebody else, or you're rarely ever getting in the way of somebody else. There might be a time here or there, as I mentioned last time. There's like a high-level character killing all the enemies in the area. Yeah, it's going to get in the way, but for the most part, when you're just talking about typical play, you're encouraged to be cooperative and to go and help people out. You're encouraged to go over and help them kill enemies and revive people. Reviving is not a skill in this game, like a healer skill or something. Like, oh, you're a healer, that means you can revive. No, anybody can do it. You just go over, you press the key to revive, and you start reviving them. There are revive skills where your character will... Well, it only affects other players, not NPCs. Because there's also a downed state. If you've played like Borderlands, for example, Borderlands has like a downed state where you're down but not out yet, and you can still keep fighting. You can fight for your life. It's sort of like that. So you're downed, you're at 0 hit points, and you're downed, and you can still die if you take too much damage. But you can still like basically like throw rocks and dirt at the enemy and you know, kick him in the back of the head, you know, like all these dirty fighting tricks. Oh, they interrupted me. All these dirty fighting tricks. And if you kill an enemy while you're in the down state, you will revive. But your allies can also come over and start reviving you as well. And there are certain skills that will either fully revive or start reviving. Die. There we go. I'm not a dragon. I'm too small to be one. So there are certain skills that will revive nearby players, or you'll like target a player and start reviving them. And pretty much every class has some way of reviving another player. So again, it's not limited to just healers, you know. As a warrior, I'll be able to unlock a skill that will revive nearby players. As a guardian, you'll be able to do that. As a elementalist, as an engineer, like no matter what, you're going to have a way to heal yourself, a way to heal your allies, a way to give boons to yourself and allies, a way to do, you know, lots of damage, a way to mitigate lots of damage. You know, you're never...
I'm the best.
Ooh, level up. You're never unable to do some aspect of the game. Alright, staff prize is up for grabs. Just a quick note to say thanks again for helping me put the inquest in its place. I hear you've been busy out there and that you've entered the staff prize competition. I have to remain impartial, of course, but I'm eager to see you demonstrate what else you can do. See you there, Dezosha. If you're done being altruistic, we need you at the staff prize. The College of Dynamics is counting on our massively impressive Golem, MIG, to win. Our demonstration is going to make the judges' heads explode in amazement, but only if you're here to help your crew to victory. We're at Battleground Plaza. What are you waiting for? Get over here. So yeah, I've reached level 10, which means I have unlocked the next stage of the personal story. So yeah, right there. Join your crew to complete for the Snaff prize. So Snaff was a genius Asura who many current Asura look up to. He is unfortunately passed away, but he was very influential, and obviously it's like the Nobel Prize, you know. It's like named after him, and everybody competes to be the smartest person around. I'm gonna sell some stuff.
Goodbye.
Fix up some documents here. Yeah, so there are a lot of little things in the lore of the past that you'll start slowly learning about. So you're like, oh, what's the Snaff prize? And you learn, oh, it's named after some guy named Snaff, and then you start learning that he was a mentor to some of the heroes that are still around. And you'll start to see more and more tidbits about him and what he did and his legacy, and not just him. Like there's Snap, there's other characters that have lived and died in this world. And as you play, you'll start to learn a little bit more and more. So I'm gonna complete a little bit more, and then I'll go to dealing with Snap's footsteps. Let's kill this bastard here. Yeah, this guy's regenerating health, as it says in the top bar. So if I go
Knowledge for me.
Ultra Brook Veil, okay. So this regenerates health. If I wait, he should start. There we go. So he's applied regeneration to himself. So he's very slowly regenerating health. Dude, that out damage him. You need to deal more damage than they're giving themselves back. And unlike something like Final Fantasy XIV, boons are sort of universal. There are like bespoke, boons and bespoke abilities and whatnot, but like if a class applies regeneration to somebody, then that regeneration is going to be the same as everybody else's regeneration. It's not like, in Final Fantasy XIV where you have two different healer classes and they have two different ways of giving somebody health regen, with two completely different skill names, skill types, all that kind of stuff. Oh, there's a centaur. Let's get rid of him. So if one class applies regeneration and another person applies regeneration, it just stacks them both. So any sort of bespoke abilities or bespoke boons, they are... Oh, don't hit me. They are done in such a way to differentiate themselves from the sort of standard universal boons in some way. Typically because they are more unique in some way, so they're not just, it's just another regeneration. It's something like, this is a boon that gives nearby allies, a bonus to certain stats or something. So like, for example, now there's been a recent patch involving a bunch of unique boons or unique abilities that affect nearby allies, but essentially something like you could place down, for example, a banner that increases the power or basically the damage output of your nearby allies, and it's like a unique boon that pulses out. That's since been changed. They wanted to try to universalize stuff a little bit more, which we'll see how it turns out. I think it could be a good step in the right direction. Some people think it was you're making the classes too not unique. I think they're still so unique that it's whatever. This area here, I think, is one of the most important areas in the game for new players. The reason why is because this Heart Renown quest here is probably the most important training that you'll get in the game as a new player. So they have these 3 training areas that teach you really important stuff about timing, which is so freaking important. So I can't just hit this person willy-nilly with my sword or I'll get knocked back. I have to wait specifically until she stops blocking. Boom.
Come on, that's way too slow. Try attacking me as I lower my health.
See, yeah. So you have to wait until she puts her shield back up, and then I can attack. And then there's this one. Pick up a rifle. teaching you about channeling an attack. So to take aim, so to press and hold this training rifle skill. Fire when he says so. If I shoot too early, for example, he'll say, wait for it. Wait for him. And if he says hold.
It's not enough to hit the target. You must learn to hold until...
Exactly. So it's not enough to hit. You have to learn to hit at the right time.
Pick up a shield and get in there.
And this is also about timing. So I have to wait for him to do his big wind-up swing, which teaches you about, here's this big wind-up he's doing. So here's his, attack that you need to block, and I did it at the right time. So that, again, that's so important to teach new players, is timing things. Timing your blocks, timing your attacks, knowing when to and when not to do something. So freaking important. And I wish they had a quest area like this in every zone for new players. I think it's hugely important. And I do hope that they'll give these low-level starter zone areas another pass and make them have more explanations of certain skills, certain abilities, stuff like this, of timing attacks and blocking attacks. Better explanations of combo fields, which we'll get to later. We also have a bank here. Put in all my stuff. You can see my giant bank that I've filled up over the years. I have some, as you'll notice, I have some legendaries I'm in the process of crafting. I still need to get back into more World versus World so I can finish this, and then this one's technically done. I just need to put these 4 together, but I wanted to wait until I have them all done so I can do them all at once and be extra satisfied. But I will put this back in the bank. Where did that even go? I forget where I put the... Oh, there we go. Up there. These freaking teleport to friend things are like that one vine of an avocado, thanks. Like, you'll get some so much from, Black Lion chests and whatnot. And you're just like, oh, I don't need any more of those. I never need them. Please stop giving them to me. And we also have crafting stations here. We can learn how to craft items and weapons and whatnot. So I'll actually do that, because it's actually a good way to get some experience. It's not like in many MMOs where crafting is its own unique sort of experience bar. I mean, it is, but like it still affects your main character level. So, for example, in Final Fantasy XIV, you have the Disciples of the Hand, which is stuff like Weaver, Armorsmith, Blacksmith, and whatnot. When you level those up, it does not level up anything else, just that crafter class. This, however, if I become a weaponsmith, I learned a bunch of different things there, and I go to the weaponsmithing station, and here's all these things I can craft. Let's craft. I need some lumps of tin, so I'm going to go to this guy and purchase... Oops, nope, wrong guy. I need to talk to you. I need lumps of tin. Get a couple of those. I will then deposit all that into my bank. Let me go back down to the bank for a second. Your bank differentiates between your actual bank slots and your material storage. So crafting materials are put in a different area than your other bank stuff. By default, I believe it starts at a max of 250 per slot, and then you can buy upgrades to increase how many materials you can fit into each slot. So I've upgraded it to, I believe, 750 per slot. I might get it to 1,000 at some point if I feel the need. But yeah, all that is separate from your normal bank. So it doesn't clog up your regular bank. Oh, and another thing, wardrobe storage. It's so nice being able to see all the weapon and armor skins that you've unlocked, and then also be able to see, you know, oh, maybe I want to find a new outfit. Like I want to dress up nice, and I'll be like, oh, you know what looks cool? The Inquest gauntlets and the antique, heavy antique coat. Maybe that's the new look I want to go for. Well, then I can go in here and see what I want, and then go and Google, like, how do I get these things? Final Fantasy XIV does not have a thing like that. You cannot view easily in-game all the skins that you have and have not unlocked in such a way. So I really appreciate that. So let's do some crafting. Let's craft some bronze ingots. So if I craft a bronze ingot, or I craft 5 of them, you can see I am upgrading my weaponsmith level, but I'm also going to get experience down here. I'm actually going to go pop an item booster. So I'm going to grab
I'm not sure.
an item booster. Take one of those. Thank you. So I get, for 2 hours, I'll get plus 50% magic find, plus 50% critical crafting experience gain, plus 33% chance of extra gathering strikes whenever I gather materials from mining, logging, foraging. There's a 33% chance I'll get an extra item from it. And then 10 seconds of swiftness after gathering, and if my inventory is full, I'll summon a merchant so I can sell some stuff. But what's most important to me, honestly, is getting that critical crafting experience. So I'm going to craft more. You can see here that that plus is that critical crafting experience gain. So I will then, let's start whittling down these planks, or these logs into planks. And then also doing this. Usually the first thing you want to do is start turning your raw materials into the refined materials. So we've made some wooden planks, we've made some bronze ingots. Let's make ourselves a weapon. So we do an axe blade. I can actually do search. I'm going to do axe. So, or do I need a haft for that? I believe I need a haft. Yeah, I'll need a small green haft. And then a bronze axe blade. And then I go to mighty bronze axe. And it needs, well, weak blood, I got that. Got that axe blade, and I got that green haft. I craft that. And ton of XP for that. And as you level up, you'll start getting more and more things that you can craft. So let's make a great sword. Blade and then hilt. And then great sword here. Let's make a shield. Go down to shield. Where are you? There you are. Craft you. There are also these dowels that I can make. If I go to discovery, I can start trying to put stuff together. You have all of the stuff that you can put together here, and it shows you if it's red, it's too high level. I can be like, okay, let me combine some stuff, see what I can put together. I can put these two together. I made 5 rough sharpening stones, so I can start making those. Which for 30 minutes I gain power equal to 1% of my precision, and 10% extra experience from killing people. That's very good. Let's see. What else can we make? Let's make a precise inscription. And then can't combine anything with it just yet. Let's make a mace head, small haft, and I should be able to combine them in the discovery section to make a precise bronze mace. And every time you discover something new in the discovery section, it gives you a ton of XP. So you're encouraged to go in and discover new crafting recipes. So I can make a resilient. And then go make a dagger blade. And dagger hilt. Go to discovery, combine those three. And now I can craft a resilient bronze dagger. And now if I just go to here, I have that recipe unlocked. So yeah, it's a great way to gain some XP, make your own stuff. I do have a salvage tool, infinite salvage tool up here. So I'm going to use them.
This is most remarkable.
To salvage all this stuff I just made back into raw materials that I can then craft again with. It's not one-to-one, you're not going to get everything back, but it is... I can get rid of that, I don't need that. It is nice being able to get some of your stuff back. Let's see. Actually, let's make... That's actually not half bad. I'm going to make a bronze greatsword blade, a hilt for it, and then make one of those, and then I can just equip it. So now I have a greatsword, and I've unlocked weapon swapping. So now I can swap between weapons. And you can see all these greatsword skills down here that I can use now. So you can see my power is a little bit bigger with the greatsword equipped because it has that extra plus 11 power. But with my sword and shield, I have slightly higher critical chance and slightly higher armor because the shield increases my armor. So yeah, that's the basics of crafting. It's pretty much required at max level if you want to get like the best of the best stuff without having to purchase it off the trading post. And if you're going for legendary or ascended weapons, you have to craft it yourself. With the exception of some legendary weapons that you can sell on the trading post for tons of money. But we do not have tons of money. I'm sitting at 232 gold and a lot of karma. Oh, I have unlocked training, so now I can start training different skills. Let's see. Yeah, they changed how banners work now. So now, let's see. What do I want to get?
What?
Let's get... By the time you're level 80, you will have unlocked everything. When you level up, sometimes they'll give you hero points to put into stuff, and they give you, throughout all the levels that you level up, they give you the exact amount to unlock every single skill and every single specialization. It's only the ones that you get from like going around and doing like these hero point things that I did. Those are if you want to unlock stuff a little bit faster, and also when you're done, these 3 elite specializations you need to unlock yourself. They will not give you more hero points from leveling up, so you have to go through and find more hero points to unlock them, and it takes like I think 250 or something to unlock a full elite specialization. So, you know, better get to it. Yeah, the specializations are like passive effects, essentially, that you can equip onto your character. I want to start with Discipline. Discipline is a very good trait line that I quite enjoy. I'm gonna give myself.
I can't help feeling that the shadow of the day will become a long, dark night.
Queen Jenna won't let that happen.
Let's see. I'm trying to decide what I want. I know I'm gonna get everything eventually, but let's start with some physical skills. That's classic and useful. So I can go down here. I got a new healing skill. So this one is I just passively regenerate health over time, or I can activate it to gain additional health. And as you can see, it gives myself 6 seconds of resistance. So non-damaging conditions are ineffective. But right now I start off with mending. So I don't regenerate health, but I get a pretty decent boost of health, and I remove conditions. So stuff like bleeding, poison, burning, stuff like that. I'm going to stick with mending for now. Every race does have racial traits that you start off with. So as the Asura, I can use technobabble on an enemy. I can basically speak to them weird and they get confused. Up a radiation field, I can use pain inverter. They changed how pain inverter was when they removed retaliation and replaced it with resolution. And back in Guild Wars 1, pain inverter was basically a requirement if you wanted to solo the storyline. It's such a powerful skill. A lot of skill names and whatnot are references to skills in Guild Wars 1. So, for example, the sword, there is a final thrust skill in Guild Wars 1. There is a shield stance in Guild Wars 1. Let's see. I'm gonna kick people. I like kicking people. This one is a ammo skill, is what they call them. So you can see maximum count 3. So there's a little 3 in the top right corner. Every time I use it, it's gonna go down to 2, and then that's gonna show the regular recharge. So I can't keep spamming over and over. And there's a little white bar that's gonna go in a circle around it. When that refills, I get a use back. So I can store up to 3 charges, and then it recharges every 30 seconds. So now I can kick people, which is always fun. Let's go back. Performance gone wrong. Report to your crew chief, Hronk. I need to go all the way back to Metrica province to do that. Teleport back. Ooh, let's discover the Karanexic lab. Ta-da! Get some XP for that. Always fun to get XP. Yeah, remember, I dynamically scaled back down, so I'm technically level 4 now in terms of stats. So I don't kill enemies too fast. Oh, and I've unlocked level 2 adrenaline, which is nice. And I'll kick you. Oh. They went into nice person mode at the last second. I'm going to switch to my greatsword now. I love how Asura carry big weapons, like hefting it around. Yeah, here we go. So there are map instances. So in this case, there are a few players remaining on this map. If I switch, I will get a slight increase to movement speed. I will get increased karma and kills. That's pretty good. So it tries to put you onto another instance of the map with more players on it so that you'll be able to interact with people. And then it gives you those boons, those little nice little thingies to encourage you to do so. So, let us continue story instance. Snaff's footsteps. The loading screens in this game are so pretty. Whoop. Sorry about that. I bumped my microphone on accident. So these story instances are single player unless you're in a party with friends. And hello, same lady 3 times.
Is it working now?
Not at all. another endearment. Cherubs are fat baby humans with freakish wings.
I knew that, sweetheart. I just didn't know you knew.
Time's almost up. If you can't show the judges something soon, you'll be disqualified.
All right, Honk, what do we got?
Panic time! Our massively impressive Golem isn't working. The judges are waiting. It functioned perfectly back in the lab. I'm at a loss. Having the best pilot and the best pilot Golem interface won't matter if it just stands there. I was sure we'd win. Snaff was a Golemancer after all.
Let me take a look. I know this baby like the schematics were tattooed on the inside of my eyelids. Every time I blink, it's a review session. Well, there's your problem. The MIG's capacitors are missing. Someone forgot to put them in. That's your job, Kaz. I pilot, you maintain. It's a good thing I love you so much. Because I love you a little less each time your scatterbrain sets us back.
I love you too, my dulcet-toned honey viper. But I put the capacitors in. Someone must have swiped them, because I would not forget. Not after your last cheerful chastisement.
Pitch woo on your own time. We must have left the capacitors in the Hydron Unit Lab's staging area. Hurry! Retrieve those capacitors at once!
I've heard of Snaff, but I still don't get why he gets a whole prize named after him.
Because he was one of the greatest geniuses who ever lived, you empty-headed homunculus. He revolutionized Goblin. He blazed trails so brilliant, most people can't even see his footsteps, let alone follow in them.
So, friend of yours then?
Yeah, Zoja was a friend of Snaff before he died. But somebody seems to have swiped our capacitors. And I can already see the word inquest showing up on screen. They must be jealous. What are you doing here?
Hey, stop right there, you pusillanimous pinheads. That's our stuff.
Was your stuff. Now it's ours. But don't worry, we'll leave you a beating in exchange.
I think not. Huzzah! I have a big sword and you do not. And I can even throw my sword in a big arc that comes back. And I will kick you. Heal myself. First attack. Ah, mine now. Don't look at me. Oh, conversation time.
Enough! Cease and desist all hostilities. Now, what's going on here?
These inquest poltroons snuck into our work area, sabotaged our massively impressive Golem, and stole our equipment.
Calumny and slander! We were called in to consult on a Snaff prize entry. And when we did, this blackguard attacked us.
Now, things get heated when a prize is on the line. Let's all just calm down, count to 10, and get back to work. No harm done, eh?
No harm done. They vandalized our workspace and our MIG.
That is a serious accusation. On behalf of the Arcane Council, I suggest you file a complaint after the contest is over. Off you go now. Off!
Yeah, the Arcane Council is your typical useless bureaucracy. They are not helpful.
I was thinking about joining the inquest. They never let morality get in the way of progress.
They'd never take you. You know what morality is.
Oof, roasted. Yeah, the Inquest are evil scientists, and they are willing to do anything in the name of scientific advancement, even if that means horrible experiments and whatnot.
I'll install them and ready to go.
Install the parts.
Fixed it. Nice work. Now we can show off our improved Golem to pilot interface. It's not as splashy as some entries, but it's revolutionary. The Snap prize is as good as ours.
Not if we don't hurry it up.
I'm gonna sit down for this.
Get out there and strut our stuff.
Out of my way. We've got a prize to win.
Behold, a revolutionary leap forward in Golem to pilot interfacing. The massively impressive Golem. A biomagical psionic mind link is two-way, instantaneous, and uninterruptible. Our pilot doesn't even need hands. She just has to think, and the Golem responds. No more special or hours of practice. Just hop in, think, and away you go.
You handle the problem with me. Every time I tried something similar, the pilot's brain got fried.
Our breakthrough in Golem interface demonstrates
Well, it's not as eye-catching as Tails floating Griswold, but your Mig is quite impressive.
Something's gonna go wrong, isn't it?
I've seen enough, Counselor. Our choice is clear. The invention that best embodies Snaf's legacy is the College of Dynamics MIG.
I quite agree. Seamless integration of machine and user has been an unachievable goal until now. Well done. As far as I know, only the Inquest has ever had any success, and they have to brutalize sentient beings to achieve it.
That was the most difficult challenge we faced. False modesty aside, our work here represents a quantum leap
False
forward.
modesty aside.
Which is why, on behalf of the judges, I'm pleased to award Bronx Crew the Snaf Prize. Let's all... By the eternal alchemy, what's that thing doing now?
Uh-oh.
Ron, we have a problem.
What's going on?
It's not responding. It's malfunction. I mean, error. Arg! What's happening to me?
Uh-oh. This is why you don't put your brain in a computer.
So the winning entry was a crazed counselor-killing golem. Well, if we disqualified every potentially lethal entry, there'd be no contestants left.
But the MiG was sabotaged. Our entry was tampered with. I don't know why, but the inquest...
Stop right there. Every time a stasis servo slips a gear, people blame Inquest saboteurs. I'm sick of it. You just took the Snaf Prize. Learn to win gracefully. Instead of finding scapegoats for your own inadequacy, you should be tracking down and dismantling that amok golem you unleashed.
And when you do, I'd love the chance to study it. Impressive work. Right on up to the point it started smashing things at random.
That will soon be rectified. Back to the lab, crew. We can track the MiG from there. With a bit of luck, we can stop it before it does any serious damage.
Well, that could have gone better. It could have gone definitely worse, but let's see. Let's get ourselves some chainmail gauntlets. Put those on. Beautiful. And then now that we're done in this instance, either go to the exit portal marked with the little green swirly thing, or you can just click the leave instance right there. So now we need to return to our lab in Ratasum. So let's get going. Ooh, we do get bags of loot as well. Unidentified die. We already have it unlocked. I have pretty much so many dies unlocked. I don't need something as simple as a grape die. I don't need a 4-slot leather bag either. I've got the bag part covered. Alright, Ratasum. This is the home city of the Asura. Let's go see our lab. God. Again, these loading screens. I love them so much. So beautifully painted. The artists really did an amazing job. Welcome. Welcome. Because it's a major city, you'll find all sorts of people hanging around here, like Mr. Chest Out Dude. All sorts of citizenry and people around. This is the major hub here with the trading post and the bank here.
Everything has a place in it.
I forgot to put this back in. I need to put that back in there.
Something specific.
So you can see all sorts of people. We got a big... That's probably a necromancer, isn't it? Yeah, Reaper. That little ghostly shroud icon. That means they're a necromancer using the Reaper elite specialization. Just by the aesthetic, I could tell this was a necromancer. Edgy goth sort of look. That's one of the Sylvari. They're the plant people. That's another Norn there. Again, they're like the big Viking people. So they're big and buff and strong. And while I'm in, I do have some account-wide buffs applied to myself. So whenever I'm in a city, I just get increased movement speed. That's why I've got those swiftness lines around me. And then we go to Golem positioning system. We gotta position our Golem. Or reposition it somewhere safer, at least.
Hey, just in time. Mom's got us all set up. We're close.
Hello, citizens. Nice bald head. Hello, Hronk. Got your Golem tracking hollow relay. Yeah, the Asura technology is very, like, glowy, like, mixture of you know, ancient-looking stone, but also glowy holograms and whatnot. It's very cool and unique. I really love it. Hronk, what do we do?
Before we proceed, I want to make it clear. We won the SNAF prize, but we can't decide who gets the SNAF Savant title until we recover Doxa and the Mig. Now then, I just finished calibrating my etheric harmonizer for the tracking device in the Mig. Once we activate it, it'll pinpoint Doxa's location.
Then what are we waiting for? I mean, please, sir, let's activate it right away. I'm worried about Doxa.
I can see that, but I'm worried that your personal concerns are distracting you. The startup sequence is more complicated than flipping a switch, you know. Ergo, I want you on the harmonizer core to make sure the apparatus doesn't overload while your crewmate here fires it up.
Consider it done, sir. Kaz isn't the only one who needs Doxa back. She's funny, and without her, our productivity has dropped by 43%.
While begin the initiation sequence, note which console fires.
Oh, Jesus.
Then repeat the sequence by interacting with the consoles.
It was this one, right? Yeah. Okay. Simon Says. Gotta love that. Okay, this one. And then this one.
Okay, got basic eye and coordination down. Now, it's time.
I was not paying attention.
No, wrong.
Whoops.
Keep trying.
Okay, this way. I like spaced out for half of a second and missed what the first one was. Left, right, up, left, left, right, up, left. Up, left, up, left, right, up, left, up, left, right.
Brace yourself. Last one is going to knock you.
Up, left, right, right, left, up, left, right, right, up. Shit. I'm sorry. Up, left, right, right, left, up. Oh, up, left, right, right, left, up.
The signal appears to be close.
Ooh, it's close. That's good, right?
The signal is moving. In fact, it's getting closer. In fact, it's headed right for us.
In a good way, right?
Wait, this can't be right. It says the signal is coming from right behind that wall.
Oh no, it's in the walls. A sword. Kick. I just kicked a giant robot. Took him out quickly enough. Oh, still need to beat it up. Smack you a bunch. Not going that way. I need to kick you. Nope, wrong way. I kicked him the wrong way. Stop moving. It's definitely not there, buddy. Kick you again. Big slash. Oh, don't do that. Swap weapons. Stun you a bit. Yeah, you can swap weapons in the middle of combat
Negative. Resuming search.
to fit the needs of the situation. So I can use my great sword if I need to do a bunch of big damage to a bunch of enemies. I can switch to sword and board if I need to whittle them down with bleed damage and stun them with a shield bash. Rude. Don't hit me. I'll hit you back. There we go. I weakened the golem for you.
Did you hear that? Doxa was in there calling for me. But why was she so out of control, so destructive?
Her mind has been fused with the MiG's command protocols. She's confused, in pain, and struggling to adjust to a whole new consciousness.
Oof.
I'd say that's also why she went berserk at the demonstration. The initial shock must have been painful. I hate to say it, but getting her out will be tricky.
A definite understatement. I've reviewed reams of recovered inquest records, and according to them, no one has ever been unfused from a golem. I'm sorry, Kaz, but Doxa may already be dead. Those words you heard could just be echoes of her former self.
Don't panic yet. Zoja is the foremost authority on golems in the world, and she already stated her interest in the MiG. If anyone can help, it's her.
Perhaps there's hope then. I know Zoja's doing some work at the Incom Optics lab outside the city. You'd better follow up with her in person.
I'm ready. Please, for Doxa's sake, let's talk to Zoja right away.
Yes, let's. Already starting with a pretty heavy note. Warhorn, shield, greatsword. It's a better greatsword than the one I crafted, so we'll take that. And I leveled up. About salvaging. Got upgrade stuff. Telling us about crafting. I'll take that. I always take the copper doubloon. Remember, it offers me that because it's the most profitable on the trading post. Equip the new sword. Yep. Don't need that anymore. Salvage these. This is actually a shitty salvage kit. I already have an infinite one up there. This one is, yeah, that's better. And you can't, unfortunately, you can't salvage some items you get from leveling up. But alas. Rata soon. Back again. Yeah, kind of heavy. It's starting off with implications of melding your brain with a machine. So every race has its own personal storyline up to level 30, where it's all based on your character creation choices. So I specifically chose in character creation, I said I was from the College of Dynamics, and that I, had a specific mentor, and then I made a specific invention. If you're a human, for example, it asks you what god do you follow, what's your biggest regret in life. If you're a Char, one of the things about the Char is that they have a very regimented military hierarchy. So you choose which branch of the military that you're in. So up to level 30, it's focused on your personal story choices, and then it turns into it branches into something that everybody gets, but it still is branching. It's the joining the various orders of Tyria. So basically you end up joining a guild, and then you get these quests based on that. You choose which ones you want to do, and then later on in the story is when it starts to sort of converge together, and everybody has essentially the same storyline. There still is branching quests, like there still is choosing which ones you want to do. This is really hard. I'm trying to get up there to get the vista without using my mount. You can see for a second there I accidentally activated my glider. That's from Heart of Thorns. If you press space while in midair, you'll use your glider, which helps you descend without falling to your death. So yeah, there's branching storylines, there's branching choices to make, which kind of stops happening at a certain point. They stop branching out and have like a universal experience for everybody. Screw it, I'll just use my glider and fail. But if you start playing and you're like, huh, that's weird. I'm playing an Asura and I have a different storyline. Well, that's just how it is. Everybody gets their own personal story based on their choices. Walk all the way up here. Now I could do this. I've done it before. Oh no. I keep instinctively wanting to press my mount key to mount up and do it. I've gotten so used to mounting up to make things easier. I need to show back in the old days before everybody had mounts, the way that you had to do it. Okay. I jump like this. Oh, I think I'm stuck in here now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, no. Help. No, you can just teleport. Teleportation is free when you're inside of a city. You can teleport anywhere you want inside of a city for free. So, accidentally broke the game a little bit. Got to somewhere I couldn't get out, but thankfully you can teleport out. There really should never be a case where you get stuck somewhere and you can't teleport out for some reason. You always have at least one waypoint you can get to. And if for some reason... Shit. If for some reason you're out of money for teleportation, then that's such an extreme circumstance that there has to be a failsafe for that situation, but I can't imagine what happened in your life for that to be the situation that you're in, that you're dead and you can't teleport away. There's part of me that wants to cut right here to where I get to the vista up there, so that you guys don't have to watch me embarrass myself. because this is embarrassing. Right there. Perfect. Okay. And then... No! Okay, I didn't mean to use my glider, but I guess that works. I wanted to show it the old-fashioned way before gliders. Yeah, the Asuran aesthetic is very angular and geometric. Lots of simple shapes and whatnot. All based around the idea of the eternal alchemy, which is a, you know, so like, it's like how there's like in real life there's those like complex like fractal mathematic equations that like happen in nature. Like you can see like in like leaves and whatnot and flowers and certain animals. They have this you know, weird mathematical way that they evolved. So I think it's cool that they kind of base the Asura ideology around that. Now let's go to the Incomp Optics Lab.
I was working at the hydro unit today. What happened?
One entry literally melted, another was stolen, and a third disappeared into a temporal rift.
Yeah, their experiments are interesting. They're basically everybody in sort of the Asura culture is kind of a mad scientist, and it takes a lot for the Inquest to be the evil mad scientists. Like, everybody makes their experiments that get people hurt, but they're on accident. The Inquest are the ones doing it on purpose, which is a big no-no. So to get to the Incomp Optics Lab. Have I gotten extra? I have not got. I haven't gotten any extra hero points yet.
Synergy Labs is recruiting interns.
Really is beautiful. The glowing technology combined with the like mossy, overgrown architecture. It reminds me a lot of like Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, honestly. Which came out way after this, so I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of the people in the Legend of Zelda team saw this game and took a little bit of inspiration. This Magitech sort of aesthetic. It's a really good aesthetic. I enjoy it greatly. I'm gonna see how to get to that vista up there. I think I can climb up this. Yeah, here we go. Ah, yes. And there's stepping stones, floating rocks. Gorgeous. Be a lovely place to live if you weren't constantly in threat or under threat from various machines and experiments going haywire. Quite lovely. All right. I'm just going to mount up and get there a little bit faster. You guys don't want to watch me walking all the way over there. Oh, there is an event, though. I'll stop and do the event for the XP. Stab, 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 stab. Huzzah!
Fantastic! That went just as planned.
So yeah, doing that event gave me a ton of progress towards this hard event, so always do your events. They're always helpful. So I kill a spark, I get this conductosphere essence, which I go to an energy storage tank and put it in that. And now that spark has been stored inside of that tank. So that's how this quest works. You can also see in the chat, it says, you have your own atmosphere. Bring it to an enemy. energy storage tank. Ta-da! Well, I already completed the thing, but I don't want to walk around with a storm cloud on me, which is a bit suboptimal. Oh, I can't activate them with me anymore because I finished the heart quest. Oh, it went away on its own. Okay, good. Yeah, the Asura are a bit egotistical, but they're adorable, I think. I mean, some of them look like hideous gremlins, but you know, that's how it is.
Soja is waiting.
Both in-game and in real life. Sometimes you just gotta be a incorrigible little gremlin. Hello, Soja. How's it going?
We're set to go. I've cleared the lab so we'll have the space and privacy we need, and also so no random observers get killed. I'd love to solve this problem for you. The MiG is so promising. Almost up to Snatch standards. Sorry, back to business. Diagnostic examination. This lab is the perfect place to run a full battery of tests. There's good equipment here, and more importantly, it's not mine, so I won't care if it gets destroyed.
I'm not entirely sure about this. Will the process hurt?
Of course not. Golems don't feel. Well, they don't usually feel pain. This may be a special case, though. We'll just have to forge ahead. I suppose we could ask the Inquest. They do fusions like this all the time, usually with people they don't like, which is a pretty long list.
No thanks. We set out to find an alternative to the Inquest method. We don't need more data on sacrificing sentient beings to improve Golem control.
A wise decision. Now let's sort out this Doxa situation.
I love how glib they are about, like, that's not my equipment. As long as nobody we know gets hurt, and it's not our equipment getting damaged, it should go well.
Under consideration.
Greetings.
Error.
My
Recognition.
schedule
Failure.
is absolutely packed, or else I'd be there to murder you in person.
Well, the walking joke is making jokes. Tell me, Taylor, how did you access these systems?
We're the Inquest. We can do anything we want to with no talent pipers like you. But I'm not virtually here to banter. Minions, bring the MiG back to the funhouse. And just to cement the fact that all your golems belong to us, Golem, initiate security override 27. Authorization code, Soja is a fake. Get her!
Uh-oh. It's stabbing time. Yeah, Greatsword for Warrior is all about spinning around, throw your sword around, big slash attacks, hitting lots of enemies at once, good mobility. It's very much a get in there into the thick of battle and start cleaving enemies and just cover yourself in blood, or in this case, coolant fluid. Oh no, it's the Stabo. That's what the robot's named. Kick. Hello, I can kick giant robots. Take care of you. I do need to heal. And kick you again. You can see I interrupted the attack that it was doing. I will switch. Stun you. Final thrust you to death. Huzzah, we win.
I'd like to lodge a formal complaint, Soja. The examination prospectus you provided never mentioned explosions, fires, or hacked golems.
Better get used to it. All that's just a prelude to what's in store if we keep crossing paths with the Inquest.
Which we will, because Teo clearly wants the MiG, And we want their know-how on fusing sentient souls to golems.
Will that help? I mean, Doxa seems calm enough now, so she's adjusting to her new situation. Inquest machinery could just drive her mad again.
That's a risk we have to take. If we don't separate her soon, she won't be Doxa anymore. We need to access the Inquest lab known as the Funhouse. The Inquest's data, combined with my expertise, gives us a chance. A statistically small chance, but that's better than what she has if we do nothing.
All right then, let's head to the funhouse. Though somehow I doubt it'll be much fun for anyone involved.
Dun dun dun. High maintenance completed. Let's get ourselves some ring mail. Another level up, don't mind if I do. Got some hero points. Conditions, negative status effects that players and creatures use. Damage, like burning, bleeding, confusion, poison, torment. Movement impairing, like cripple, chill, and immobilize. Debilitation, like blind, weakness, vulnerability, and slow. And disabling, like fear and taunt. Certain skills, like for example, I have condition removal on mending, can remove these effects from you and your allies. There are daily achievements, which got over here, and then there are laurels, which is a special currency that you can spend at the major cities. Let's equip our new stuff. Do a big iron hammer. And a big sword, big hammer. Gotta love that. Let's train some more here. And then leave the instance. All right, and now monkey wrench. So I think next time, when we're not getting attacked by random sparks, you big jerk. Yeah, the hammer, like the greatsword has a lot of mobility. So lots of big sweeping attacks, but a lot of mobility. The hammer has a lot of big area attacks as well, but trades in the mobility for debilitation. So stunning, knockdown, knocking enemies around, all that good stuff. So like if you want to do a lot of crowd control, or if you just want to get in there and start stabbing people. So again, that's the cool thing about choosing different weapons in this game. You get to choose what kind of style you want to be. But I think I will catch you guys next time. We're going to go to the funhouse, and we're going to keep trying to save our friend from being stuck in a golem forever. And I don't think that funhouse is going to be as fun as we think it is. So, if you liked the video, please remember to give it a like. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe for more. Again, I want to keep playing Guild Wars 2. It's a game I really love. I really enjoy. And comment below if you have any thoughts on the game, on maybe you're going to be getting the Steam version. Maybe you've been a veteran and you don't need the Steam version. I might get the Steam version just for ease of access. Like, I wonder if you'll be able to connect your account to the Steam account. I don't know how it's going to work because it's not out yet. But presumably they're going to make it so that if you have an existing account, you can just launch through Steam instead, which I think I would want to do. I think that would be a little bit easier for me, but that's just me. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on Guild Wars 2 and tell me all your little tidbits that you like about the Asura lore. I know we're getting more and more into their sort of backstory and aesthetic and lore and whatnot, and if you've got any little tidbits of cool information, don't spoil anything. Don't put anything in there that would be potentially spoiling for new players. But if there's something cool in there, like, oh, here's a cool little trivia thing about the colleges or something, go ahead. I think that those are really fun to listen to. I'm just quickly going in here to grab the Vista in here. again, it's just a really beautiful game. I think the graphics have really held up over the years because of its unique painted style and aesthetic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, I really love this game, and I can't wait to show off more with you guys. So, as always, enjoy this beautiful view and have a wonderful rest of your day.